Jess here, the Whole Dancer founder and your health coach for dancers. So today I wanted to chat with you guys about going beyond quote unquote healthy for dancers and what that means. So often, healthy is one of those words that's sort of used and overused and not clearly defined, and we uh, see and hear things about healthy, and we should question it. And a lot of times dancers, if they've gotten to maybe a best body goal, regardless of how they got there, so whether it was an extreme or technically unhealthy way of achieving that goal, once they get to the goal, it's easy to see yourself then as healthy. Like, I'm healthy, I'm dancing my best because my body looks great. So we have to take it a step further and know that to get to your healthiest place, there's a lot involved, and you can't just strive for healthy either. We have to go beyond it in some really positive ways. So firstly, beyond healthy, you have to be in a place of positive body thoughts, positive body image. You have to break down and work through any of the negativity that has come up for you so that you're in a positive place. You can't just be feeling good internally and dancing well and not be in a good place mentally, because then we've not really accomplished that full goal of what is a healthy dancer. What can that mean for you? So, ask yourself some questions. What thoughts come up for you when you look in the mirror? Do you feel confident in auditions and casting situations? If you're feeling good in those times and in those areas, you are in a positive mental place, you're in a healthy mindset. So we have to consider the mental aspect of it as well. With the food piece, right? Food is your fuel. This is true for all people, but especially important for dancers to keep that in mind at all times. My favorite analogy for this concept is the whole sports car idea, right? You're using your body at a super high elite level. You want to perform at a top level. Like a sports car, you're going to give it premium fuel. So that's the same with your body. This doesn't mean we never indulge. It doesn't mean we don't eat the treats and things that are, maybe sweet and technically less healthy. It doesn't mean we never eat those things, but it means we're putting a huge focus on what's actually fueling your body, what's keeping you feeling good, what's keeping you in a positive and healthy place from an immune standpoint, and also especially the performance aspect of it. You have to think about the nutrient density of your food. Am I eating foods that have the most vitamins and minerals, the most micronutrients available? Yes, we think a lot about macros. We tend to, be thinking, am I eating too many or enough carbs? Am I eating too many or too much or not enough protein? Am I eating too much healthy fat? Usually that's the question. Am I eating too much healthy fat? But we should oftentimes, this is a side note, dancers really should ask themselves if they're eating enough healthy fat, because most often I see not quite enough in meal plans. But you have to put a big focus on the nutrient dense foods. So these are your dark leafy greens. These are all the colorful fruits and vegetables. Eating that rainbow of fruits and vegetables to make sure that you're giving your body what it needs from a micronutrient standpoint, vitamins and minerals, because that's what's going to really aid in muscle repair, and that's what's going to really aid in keeping bones strong, and all of those things. So try not to get overly obsessive with the macros, and make sure you're putting a great focus on micronutrients. Food quality is another important thing that we have to consider, right? Healthy can't just be I'm at a good weight, or I am feeling strong. We need to think about the quality of our fuel as well. So again, it's the sports car idea. Are you giving your body premium fuel? When you go to the grocery store, are you choosing the options that are of the highest quality that you can afford? And like there's the whole organic versus conventional debate and that sort of thing. I err towards the organic side of things. It's a whole nother discussion, but there are ways to have those foods in a more economical way, right? You can buy the flash frozen organic vegetables, and arguably they're as nutrient dense as the fresh ones. So we have to think about the ways that we can save money and still put a huge focus on food quality. Pay very close attention to how foods make you feel. So a common pitfall in the healthy or healthy eating focused mindset is that you say, well, this is a healthy food, so I should eat it. And that's where it ends. And we don't then ask ourselves, well, how do I feel when I eat this food? Because not all foods work for all people. And we have to stay very aware that, even if something is technically healthy, that it could be something that really doesn't work for us at all. So pay close attention to how foods make you feel. Within that, identify foods that your body digests and uses most easily. So you want to notice any foods that might cause bloating or gas or digestive disturbances. You might notice that some foods actually give you headaches, whether it's right after or like within a few hours of eating them. Sugar is a common culprit for this, and sometimes dairy as well. And some foods might even slow your recovery. Things like dairy. Dairy can in fact be inflammatory for some people. So we have to pay attention to how our bodies are feeling in relation to what we're eating, even if things are, generally considered quote unquote healthy. You have to remember that foods are playing essential roles in brain function, in recovery, muscle recovery, and bone strength, immune function, and again, overall health. So those food choices are really important. Like I said, it's not that we're never going to be indulging or eating things purely because we enjoy them and they're treats, but we have to find that really good balance, because it's not just the general health that we can be striving towards. We're working towards this high level of performance as well. And then you have to really consider the dance load. And you will need more food when you're dancing more, right? That's an easy rule to follow. The easiest way to really pay attention to that is listening to what your body is telling you. Plan accordingly. When you know you have a heavier dance schedule, make sure that you're really planning ahead. What snacks am I bringing? What meals am I making ahead? How can I make continuing to fuel my body at that high level super easy, so that it doesn't fall off when things get busy, because that's what happens most often. Now, don't see those intense times as an opportunity to underfuel yourself. We have to make sure that we see those times when we're dancing the most and when we're performing a lot and rehearsing a lot as times when we have to really put the focus on the food that's going to fuel our bodies and help us to repair muscles and keep the bones strong. You have to eat enough if you would like to avoid injury. And this is something that so often, especially for aspiring professional dancers, it happens, and this is something that I fell into myself. We don't see the connection enough between quality and quantity of fuel and how that will keep us injury free, right? Food is a key component in avoiding injury, and one that we don't make the connection with enough. Like, you have to strengthen your muscles around those bones, obviously, and there are things that you can do to avoid injury by doing such things. But if you're not eating enough food, you are going to be more prone to stress fractures. You're going to be more prone to just injuries it's not even overuse, it's just injuries associated with not getting the nutrients that your body needs to repair things. So we have to make sure that you're eating a super comprehensive meal plan. And again, it has to go beyond healthy, and it has to really incorporate the mindset piece, so that you're not allowing yourself to forget to take care of your internal being and your emotional health. And it can't just be about what I look like on the outside. We can't define healthy by the external. We have to really make sure we're fully encompassing all of the whole dancer, all parts of ourselves. So again, it's not just that, oh, I'm eating this way and I'm avoiding these foods that are quote unquote unhealthy, and that makes me healthy. We have to think about how it's all working for us, and continuously be assessing. We can't just get stuck in one place and say, well, I don't know, I guess I feel kind of good and perhaps I've met body goals, so this must mean I'm healthy. We should be always reevaluating and always listening to the cues that we're getting from our bodies and our minds. Don't forget, if you guys have not yet saved your spot for tomorrow's Best Body Workshop, I will link to it in this video description. The workshop's happening tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, And if you can't be there live, I will be sending out a recording afterwards. But if you can be there live, definitely show up and join me. It's going to be so much more impactful if you're able to come on live and you know, really invest some time in yourself and learning this 7-step process that I work with dancers through, both in the Dancer's Best Body program and in one-on-one coaching. It's really it really encompasses all the key components that need attention and need to make, for a lot of dancers, big shifts in order to be able to reach body goals in a healthy and sustainable way. So I'm really excited to share in the workshop tomorrow night for those of you who attend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.